You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in to the Outspoken Sportscast. This is your host Brian and Craig. We got episode number 160 for you. Talks on Tuesday, week 5 edition. What's up, Craig?
How we doing, sir?
Doing good here. We are going to give you the recap from week 5. We're going to give you our top 5 power rankings. We've got our picks for week 6 and much more. We're going to jump into the MLB playoffs and the headlines right after this, guys. All right, guys, welcome in. Talks on Tuesday, episode 160 here for you. We got to go through the games of week 5. Let's do the power rankings first. No, my bad. Let's go through week 5. We do that first, and we're going to power rankings to see kind of how that changed it up. Another week of just some craziness in the NFL. Let's see here. All right. Well, in our picks this week, you beat me this week, so congratulations on that. I was 9-7, and you were 11-5. And as the games were going on, I was like, "There's no way I've won this week." After we've had some crazy games, but Thursday night we had the Broncos and the Colts game. I think your mic is muted. Are you there? I cannot hear you all of a sudden. Sorry, folks, we're having some technical difficulties here. I heard you a minute ago, but not anytime, not right now. As Craig gets hold of that and fixes that problem. Yeah, he beat me this week in the picks. There you go.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
All right.
Yes, you beat me this week in picks. So
Yeah, that was 3.5 hours of my life I did not get back on Thursday night. That was a absolute snore fest.
yeah, there was 0 touchdowns scored. There was like 13 punts in between the teams.
It was
Pathetic. The Denver Broncos panic meter is out the wazoo. You've got to wonder if your head coach knows what he's doing. Russell Wilson looks pathetic. It's just a bad time there. And we both picked, I believe we both picked the Broncos to win that game because the Colts have been pretty bad on the other side. But they sneak out the 12-9 victory on Thursday Night Football last week. But
Russ, he just missed a guy on a slant. I mean, just wide open.
That would have been game. And
absolutely.
That wide receiver threw his helmet and threw a little tinsel.
Well, and I can't understand 4th and 1 why you would I mean, as soon as they went into shotgun, I'm like, that's a terrible idea.
Well, I mean, their running back's injured. I mean, who they got running the football?
Can't get a yard.
He's old. He's pretty old. I mean, hey, the guy was open. If Russell Wilson
then
looks
kick
to
the
the
field
right,
goal and live to play another down.
Yeah.
Anyhow, yeah, that game was
just bad. People are asking for their money back.
Yeah, they should. They gave Richard Sherman PTSD. He went ham on the deal about running the football. Yeah, it was just bad. And this week the Thursday, I mean, Amazon's got to be going, guys. What? I mean, they got the Commanders and the Bears. Wow. No, I'm out.
I think there's going to be a touchdown scored at least in this one.
Maybe.
That's better than last week. Speaking of not running the damn football, the Green Bay Packers lose to the Giants in London. I'm glad NHL is starting up, Craig, because Green Bay's done. Let's just stick a fork in them. How do you lose to the Giants?
Yeah, I don't know.
With 20-10 at halftime.
I'll get back with you when we do it.
20-10 at halftime. We don't pit two quarters. We don't pit two halves together. LaFleur came out and said it himself. We have not pit two halves together this whole season. And you got a team over there, the New York Giants, who Dayball's got them playing for him big time. That's got to be the only reason they're winning these games.
Because it's not the quarterback. I promise you that.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley's had a resurgence this season. But it's 3rd and 2 right there at the end of the game. We throw the ball, it's batted down. 4th and 2, we throw the ball, it's batted down, game over. I'm like, Aaron Jones on the interview after the end of the game says, "You got me and Dylan. I'll put all the money that we can get 2 yards." So I kind of questioning why we didn't try and run the ball there. Just a pathetic loss. And
for my fantasy team, I'd have liked Aaron Jones to try to get 2 yards. But I saw that. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I thought that was a for sure slam dunk.
It should have been. And Packer Nation's already calling for our defensive coordinator's job, and I totally agree with this.
Yeah,
this guy
that many points to the Giants. I mean,
this team is talented on both sides of the football. Well, mostly on defense is talented. We're still figuring out the wide receivers, still figuring out our quarterback. But the defense, Barry plays soft zone defense all game. I don't get it. Where there's guys wide open, they just sit in the hole in the zone and they get wide open. And we're sick and tired of watching it, man. The freaking last season we had guys that rated highly. Stokes was the highest rated rookie last season in single coverage. And I just don't know why they're not doing that. I don't know why we're not using Jair Alexander to shut down their best wide receiver and being really physical. We're playing soft zone, and it's killing me. It's killing me. It's got to change.
Yeah. You got a lockdown corner, and you're putting him, in the middle of the field. It just doesn't make sense to me either.
We got the Bills and the Steelers. Now, I turned this game on. I figured it might, be, well, I didn't think it was going to be competitive, but I wanted to see Kenny Pickett's first game, and the Bills just ran all over him, 38-3. No contest.
Gabe Davis had 2 touchdowns that catch he made was ridiculous. It was an interception, and then he rips it out of the guy's hands and is in the end zone, and he's just like, "Thanks, I'll take that."
Yeah, he grabs it up. It was weird. He grabbed it up with one hand.
Yeah,
brought it into his other hand, and the DB's got both hands on the ball.
Yeah,
and it
he
was
just snatches it from him and goes in. Got it
in the end zone. Josh Allen just beast mode.
Yeah.
They start the game.
Josh Allen revenge tour is in full thrust.
They start the game off with the kick returner fumble the ball, gets the ball back, and he gets tackled at their 2-yard line. You're like, oh great, here we go. What a bad position this is. It's 3rd and 10 on your own 2, and then Josh Allen puts a beautiful bomb down the field, and it's gone for a touchdown. 98 yards for
Yeah.
a touchdown. And
Gabe
Pittsburgh,
Davis, thanks.
Pittsburgh went from a great start, like, oh man, we're gonna get them backed up here, to what the hell just happened?
Yeah,
in
and
less than a minute.
the rest of the day was over. He had 3,000 yards and 4 touchdowns by halftime, and it was Katie bar the door.
Chargers and Browns. Chargers head coach tried to give this one away as he went forward on 4th and 3 in the middle of the field. Did you see that?
Yeah, on his own side of the
Oh my gosh. They don't
say,
get it. They give the ball back to the Browns.
Yeah,
the chance to win.
Automatic field goal range, and Cleveland somehow screws that up, and Shankopotamus is a field goal, which would have eliminated half the survivor pool. Thanks for that, Cleveland.
Cleveland jumped out on top of this game. Cleveland
had the whole game, and I mean the Chargers had no business winning this football game. No business.
They squeezed that one out. Their head coach has got to be scratching their head there. Well, the Texans heard your plea and took out Austin and his son Ethan as the Jaguars lose to the Texans. But they are buying back in, so don't worry. They'll be back. So it's the last week you can buy. Actually, next week's the last.
This is the back. Trevor Lawrence that I have been telling you about all along.
They're so up and down. It's got to be crazy to be a Jags fan, and the inconsistency and the up and down that they go through this season, where they've looked like they've had flashes where they look like this could be the year that they actually compete, and then they go and play Houston and they score 6 points.
And they score 6 points and get blown out. It just looked horrible. He threw a horrible pick at the end of this game that, I mean, just wasn't even
sealed the deal.
Yeah, just like, where are you throwing the football right now? Absolutely.
Bears were losing most of this game 21-0. They come all the way back. They go up 22-21.
Talk about Survivor Island. I'm like, what? And then Justin Fields is the Ohio State quarterback that I know and love and seals the deal. And actually, it wasn't
the Minnesota guy stripped the ball from
the wide receiver.
He said, "Give me that. I'm going to call game, and
I'm going to take my ball, and we're going home."
I wish the Bears would have won. That would help my team out.
Minnesota's
4-1.
Kirk Cousins obviously was not playing in prime time and started this game 14 for 14 for 190 something yards. And 11 of those were to Justin Jefferson, who is now the best receiver in football, hands down. Sorry, Jamar Chase, you are not it.
That position changes every year. It's insane to me. That position seems to change.
I mean, Cooper Kupp made his ploy as a 75-yard scream down the field. I didn't realize he was that fast.
He outran everybody on that one.
Away from Trayvon Diggs, who's not slow.
Let's see. Lions score 0 points against the Patriots and go down 29-0 against a third-string rookie quarterback.
Against Bailey Zappi and the put-together Patriots. This was by far the worst game the Lions have played all season. Here's a team who came into the game leading the NFL in scoring, even though they were 1-4. They had put up more points than anybody, and were in shootouts, and you just kept waiting for the offense to wake up. And granted, they're missing DeAndre Swift, but Amon St. Brown came back and played in this game, and they had Goff, and Goff looked horrible. He made a couple just terrible picks, and they lose a defensive back on one of the weirdest plays I've ever seen in football. The tight end comes and runs a screen, and he kind of like bumps him and then just crumples to the ground like a sack of potatoes, and they call an ambulance, and they call his dad out of the stands and evaluate him for a neck injury, but I have no idea what happened. No idea. It was the craziest play. The guy didn't hit him. The guy didn't knock him down. It wasn't a stinger. He just crumpled. It was crazy. So thank goodness it sounds like he's got movement on the extremities and everything like that. But this game was just over from the beginning.
Yeah, me and you both picked the Lions to win. So,
Yes.
going up against Zappy, and they're a team that the Lions have scored the most points in the NFL, and they've also given up the most points in the NFL. And they come in this game and Bill Belichick shuts them down, 0 points. You got the Saints beating the Seahawks 39-32, which this is a more high-scoring game than I thought it would have been. But they get the job done there. And Taysom Hill had himself quite a game and 2 or 3 touchdowns. So they're still using him as a weapon there. But you got the Jets. Jets score 40 points on Miami. Now, Miami's quarterback is injured, and Teddy Bridgewater went out the first play of the game.
Yes, to the new axiom, whatever
Mhm.
they rule there is, that if they see any kind of wobbly
Wiggle.
legs,
Mhm.
any kind of sea legs out there, you're not allowed to come back in a football game. And this kid was just over his head. The bottom line is he was in over his head. And the Jets, here's a team that we thought 0-7, 0-8 to start out going into their bye, and they're now over 500. And talk about a head coach that's got a team ready to run through a wall for him. That guy is it.
Zach Wilson, I looked at the game. They score 40 points. He doesn't throw an interception. He didn't throw a touchdown pass, but no interceptions in the game is good for him. And we'll see. This Jets team, they've had some good drafts. They've got some talented players. Sauce Gardner's playing really well for them. We'll see what happens.
He got his first interception.
Yep. We'll see what happens with the Jets, but both the Jets and Giants are playing way better than we thought they were this season.
I think the Giants will come back down to fruition. They've played a pretty lax schedule. Now I did think they were supposed to lose to Green Bay. I think they will lose to Baltimore this weekend.
Oh yeah, they will lose to Baltimore this weekend. You got Tom Brady being bailed out by the refs again as they win 21-15 over the Atlanta Falcons. This
was the absolute worst call I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was
not
pathetic.
Even close.
I don't know how he's supposed to tackle Tom Brady.
I don't know. I mean, he couldn't have picked him up and laid him down any gentle. And Brady kicks him as he's getting up.
Yeah.
And nobody says anything about that.
Tua Tagovailoa, that when he got hit in the second game, he got slung and slammed to the ground with his head hit the.
Well, and Mahomes
no penalty.
Mahomes got slung down the same way last night.
No penalty. There was another bad passer last night too.
Well, that one I kind of get though, because that one's the whole
But he didn't have the ball. He fumbled the football.
I understand. I don't think. First of all, I don't think the ref could see that because the guy calling it was behind Jones. So I don't think he saw the ball come out. And if you remember the rule from a couple years ago of the full body weight.
But when he lands, his arm is fully extended like he's trying to hold himself up. What else?
100%.
To me,
they need to
it wasn't
review this.
It wasn't. Yes, exactly right.
Just like targeting in college football, they need to be able to go back and go, all right, we thought we saw something. When we look at the different camera angles, we didn't see it. It takes a minute, 2 minutes of the time. I understand they're worried about making these games last too long and using reviews for things that they don't need to be able to review, but they need to be able to review that because I'm all about whatever happened to Tua where his hands went numb and it's like a UFC fighter in there. We don't want that.
No.
Nobody wants that. But nobody wants either of those calls. The Atlanta one affected the whole
horrible.
game.
Oh,
the Atlanta one took the chance. Now, does Atlanta drive 85 yards down the field and put a touchdown up against one of the better defenses in football? I don't know. But at least give them a chance. At least not take the decision out of the hands and say, and then the ref goes and doubles down.
Yeah.
And after the game, it says, no, if that happens again, I'm going to call it again.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. And so the situation, if you guys didn't see it, is basically it's It's a little more than 3 minutes to go. It's 3rd and 5. They sack Tom
Wraps
Brady.
his hands around Tom and spins him to the ground slowly.
Grabs
Pirouettes him to the ground.
Grabs his waist. He spins him around where Tom Brady's now sitting on him, and now he lays him on the ground here, and they call the roughing the passer.
Doesn't
15
hit his head,
yards.
Doesn't snap. Doesn't.
Yeah, nothing. 15
doesn't
yards.
Lay on top of him.
And the Bucks run the game out. That's it. It's game over. It took the chance for the Falcons to have the opportunity, and it's pathetic.
That would have forced a punt right there.
Yeah. It would have been 4th and 15, and now it's now it's first down, and they can run the clock out. But I agree. They should be able to be looked at and challenged. But I think it's the same thing with when they were able to challenge pass interference. Nothing got overturned because these refs aren't going to admit they're wrong. They're not going to admit they're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, just like the Boger deal after the game when he doubles down and says he would have done it again. Well, if he goes and reviews it, apparently he's going to stick with his call.
Well, that's the same thing. Like I just said, with the pass interference when they did challenge it.
Yeah,
none of them were overturned.
None of them were overturned.
It's because those refs have an ego and they don't want to look wrong, and that's just not. That is
right. The one thing in Major League Baseball that I am glad they do is they send it to New York. Yeah. Now they could do that, make it to where the
it should
goes to Dio, and whoever took Dean Blandino's spot up there can make the call and go, hey, no, you guys screwed this up, because I'm all about protecting the quarterback, but I'm not about costing games, and that's exactly what we're going to do. The Cowboys had a bad one too. The guy runs into him, arms extended this way, hits him chest first. It maybe looked like it was the helmet, but the helmet never hit. Luckily, it didn't cost him the game or cost him any kind of a deal against the Rams. But, almost every game has some kind of roughing the passer that's not getting called or that's getting called when it's not it. And that's going to be the new hot topic because of Tua. But you got to find a way to fix that.
Yeah, they're overcorrecting themselves way too much.
Absolutely.
Titans hold on to win against the Commanders 21-17 as Carson Wentz had a chance to put it away there, and they get the pass interference down there at the end zone. He has 3 opportunities and throws a horrible interception that ends the game. And Washington's 1-4. We'll get into them a little bit later with Ron Rivera's comments.
Riverboat Ron.
I've got to
backing up the Greyhound.
That's just horrible. That's a horrible look, but. You got the Niners demolishing the Panthers 37-15. Nothing really to talk about
my
there.
My guy Jimmy G just winning football games. That's what he does.
Baker Mayfield, I believe, got hurt and will miss some time for them. And we're looking at PJ Tucker. We're looking at PJ Tucker there.
Yeah.
Eagles survive against the Cardinals as the Cardinals miss a game-tying field goal in the fourth quarter.
Kyler Murray doesn't
lose.
Understand football. He slides short of the marker, thinks he has a first down, doesn't pay attention to everything, spikes the ball, and then goes, wait, why is it 4th down? Well, because you didn't get the first down over there, hero, and now you spiked it, and so now it's 4th down, so now I'm going to have to kick. And they showed before the game the kicker just shankopotamus, just hooking balls left and right, and that's exactly what he does. He pushes it right. It never had a chance from the time it left his foot. And the Eagles snake out and now face Dallas in a NFC East showdown on Sunday night in Philadelphia.
That'll be a good game.
Be a great game.
Sunday night, but Cowboys dominate the Rams. Absolute domination by the Cowboys here. This defense is legit. They shut down.
Defense will travel.
They shut down. Well, this wasn't traveling. This is a home team, a hometown game for the Dallas Cowboys. If you heard that freaking crowd, that was insane. Yeah. And the LA Rams and the LA fans ought to be ashamed of themselves because that was the worst non-home field advantage for your home team that I've
they
ever
look good.
seen.
Dallas looked good. They only have 102 yards of total offense from Cooper.
For all those that want Rush over Dak, there's your numbers,
and
buddy.
for anybody that has that, please retract that statement and put your Dallas Cowboys fan card on the table, because there's no way that's going to be sustainable in a playoff format. The two running backs combined for 165 yards, but here's the deal. Here's a game where Dallas appears to dominate, but they only have 267 yards of total offense, and Matt Stafford himself goes for 312. So
he threw for 312?
Statistically,
wow, it didn't look like that at all.
It didn't look like that, but what I'm saying is,
if Cooper you Kupp the 75 yards,
yeah, and then he had the other, and then they had the other 159 over the top to that guy where they settled for a field goal on that deal. But if you look statistically, the Rams had more yardage. They couldn't run the ball, and that's how they beat Dallas the last two times they played them, was the ability to run the ball. Cam Akers has just gone and hit. He had
one good year, like holy moly, and then he's been
and he is just non-existent. So 39 yards total rushing for the day, and they shut that down. Micah Parsons is the second coming of Lawrence Taylor, and you can hope that he's healthy for the Eagle game.
They did have a groin injury issue, but he went back in and played, so it tells me that he shouldn't miss any time.
No, he shouldn't miss any time, and he looked like when he came off the line that he still had plenty of fire and everything like that. So,
Bengals drop one to the Ravens, 17-19, as the Ravens kick a last second field goal to win the game.
Justin Tucker is
the MVP of kickers.
Yeah.
This
maybe to ever do it.
This is going to be. I knew it's going to be one of those games, divisional games. The Ravens and Bengals play each other tough.
Something very similar to what you will see on Sunday night with Dallas and Philadelphia. It doesn't matter the records; throw them out. Divisional knockdown, slobber knocker. And it will come down to the end of the fourth quarter.
And last night, the Raiders jumped to a 17-point lead over the Chiefs, and they can't hold on. They lose 30-29. They win.
Travis Kelce has 4 touchdowns and 25 yards receiving. The only person in NFL history to have 4 touchdowns and less than 30 yards of total receiving. Patrick Mahomes said, "I'm here. This is my house. I am who you thought I was. And it doesn't matter how many points I'm down, I will come snatch your soul." The Raiders, 2 wide receivers run into each other like a bunch of Three Stooges in the end zone. And then after the game, Devontae Adams decides to go down the tunnel. Now, if you look at a different angle of this, it appears the guy just darts out in front of him. And he's not looking. And then when he runs into the guy, instinct, he just goes, "Hey, man," because he didn't know if it was a fan. At that point, he had no idea who or what it was. He wasn't looking. And
let's not. He shoved this guy.
I understand that, but if you look at, there's another. There's a different angle that come out today afterwards. When the angle they showed it from, it looked like he pushed the guy. When you look at it from the back angle, from the camera from the back, you can tell that he's got his helmet on, and you can tell his head's down. And this kid comes out of the nowhere and literally darts in front of Adams, and he hits Adams first. And when he hits him, automatically his hands go out. Now, did he help the guy up? No, he didn't. But
I know what angle. I know what angle you're looking at, and I don't agree. I agree that the other angle makes it look like he shoved the crap out of him. The second angle makes it look like he didn't shove him very hard, but this guy's carrying all this equipment and kind of caught him off guard, toppled over. It's a bad look. It's a bad look,
but it's also a bad look to start suing people. Just like the protester who runs onto the field with his smoke screen, and then the Rams smash him, and they go, "I'm filing assault." Well, you shouldn't be there. You're trespassing. If you weren't trespassing,
that's different. I mean, this one will go away with a good handshake from Devontae Adams, a signed jersey. I'm sorry, buddy, but look, he's disgruntled. His team is 1-4.
100%.
He misses Aaron
100%.
Rodgers. He cries
and
every
he
night.
runs in. Renfro's out here running the wrong
into
route.
him. There's
The whole thing's a dumpster fire out there.
Dumpster fire.
And Josh
Absolute
McDaniels will be. I cannot
dumpster
believe that Josh McDaniels is not on the top of the list. Or Ron Rivera maybe to be the next guy to be let go.
Ron Rivera might want out after what he did, but
he walked it back today.
Oh, I know. But still, let's get into the power rankings. Where's that at? Did I do one for that? Oh no, where'd it go? I swear I made one. Anyways, we're gonna do your power rankings, and this one's an interesting one because I had a hard time finding 5 great teams in the NFL. My 5th one, I was going, who could it be? To me, there's been a lot of mediocre teams this year, or teams that have been playing under. So let's go 1 through 5 this time because I think we all know who's number 1. I got the Bills there. Who do you have there at number 1?
I got Kansas City.
When
you're down,
I flipped
17
them. I flipped them last week. I had Kansas City this week.
When you're down 17-0, and in the NFL, that's not an easy task to come back from. And you got a bad passer or roughing the passer call. You faced a lot of adversity last night, and you answered every bell. And until something tells me that Patrick Mahomes, everybody said that he was going to miss Tyreek Hill, including myself, that he was going to miss Tyreek Hill and that offense was going to struggle. It has not. Travis Kelce's the best tight end in the football, and Patrick Mahomes, very well the best quarterback in football, and they're rolling, and I just going to stick with Kansas City.
Yeah, I put the Bills here. I switched them last week. I had Kansas City. To me, the dominance the Bills show. They just whooped it.
It does.
And the Steelers are a good defense, right? I know they have a rookie quarterback, and I know, but that defense is actually pretty good, and the dominance there, just 38-3, just stomping of a good team or a good head coach team and a good defense and just dominant. So I picked them. My number 2 is the Chiefs. It's like you said, all those things you just said. Patrick Mahomes is an absolute beast, and so their team looks good. So,
and I got 2 with Buffalo. I mean, they're 1 and 1A if there was such a thing until they play each other here in a couple weeks. That's just what we're gonna have to deal with because
do they play each other this week?
They might.
Yeah, they play each other this week. It's this week they play each other.
So that'll solve our conundrum there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, I just it is what it is.
Who you got at number 3?
I got Philadelphia. It was a tough game against Arizona. You went in there and you took care of business, even though you should have lost probably. They didn't look great. They face some adversity, and they will face some more this week. You're 5-0, and I can't fault you. So I got the Philadelphia Eagles.
I got the Eagles there too. 5-0. You've got to have them in your top 5. You've got to have them in your top 3 with that record.
Yeah.
The only reason they're not above
up to this point.
The only reason they're not above the other two is with the worst records is it's their schedule. I think when they face the Cowboys will be the real test. This week.
If they beat Dallas, maybe I could, and then of course the other two play each other. They can jump. Somebody might fall to 3. But right now, that's who I got.
Number 4. Now, last week I picked the Cowboys in my top 5 at number 5. I think the Cowboys are number 4. I put them at number 4 this week. They move up after dominating the Rams. If you would have asked me when Dak Prescott went down if I'd have the Dallas Cowboys in my top 5 power rankings, I'd tell you I would laugh at you.
There wouldn't have been an ounce of money you could have given me to convince me of that happening. I honestly thought they would beat the Giants and they would beat Washington because those two teams were just not as good as the Dallas roster. But I thought they would lose to the Bengals. I thought they would lose to the Rams, and I thought they would be 2-3 at this point in time.
And you'll be begging Dak to come back.
And you would be forcing Dak Prescott back into the lineup.
Yeah, this defense is a Super Bowl winning defense.
Absolutely.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You've had guys.
Defense, special teams is all firing on all cylinders right now. The field goal kicker hasn't missed a field goal. The punter is flips the field for you. It's just a winning combination.
Who you got it for?
There's two teams that have not let up 20 points in the NFL, and they are 4-5. I got the 49ers. They went and took care of business.
You got Cowboys at 4?
No, I got San Francisco at 4.
Well,
and they dominated. They haven't let up 20 points. They just that defense is going to be tough to play. And Jimmy G's just got this thing rolling. He had a little bit of a hiccup last week, but they're back rolling, and I think they're good.
I got the Niners at number 5. So
yeah, and I got Dallas. So
we have the same 5 teams.
Yeah,
so
Dallas. I told you that I had to wait until they played a real squad, and although the Rams have looked not like the Super Bowl champions from last year.
No, they do not.
That's still a solid football team. That's still a solid defense with Aaron Donald and Ramsey and Dallas went in there and took care of business and made Matthew Stafford look like he was not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So I think those are the 5. Little bit different order, but I think those are the 5.
Yep, those are the 5. I got the 5. I wasn't a big believer in the 49ers on that number 5 spot, but their defense is good, and Jimmy G's winning some games. Some people have
the Ravens. To me, the Ravens haven't done enough to.
I trust Jimmy G. I trust the Niners more than the Ravens at this point.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into week 6 picks. Never thought I would be picking this team, but I got the Commanders Thursday night over the Bears. I do not trust the Bears whatsoever. I don't really trust the Commanders, but this is a coin flip. You're exactly right. And I got the Commanders winning. The Bears to me are just absolutely terrible.
They're absolutely terrible, and I think with Riverboat Ron Bash Tour 101 that if Carson Wentz has anything left in the tank to prove that he comes out against a bad Chicago defense and slings the ball around the yard and tries to prove himself. So give me the Commanders.
You got Green Bay sorry. Yeah, I have to go down the list here. 49ers and the Falcons.
Jimmy G just wins football games. Give me.
Yeah, I got the 49ers as well. Falcons have been playing competitive, but I got 49ers winning that one. Patriots and Browns. I have Cleveland winning this one. It was a tough one for me. I think a defense is going to be able to slow down the Zappy show over there.
I think the Cleveland Browns allow.
And it's in Cleveland, so
I understand, but the ball they haven't been able to stop the run really, and New England's run has been pretty good, and New England's defense kind of impressed me against a very good offense of the number 1 offense in the league in Detroit. Give me New England.
All right, now you got Packers, Jets. Packers.
If the Packers don't win this football game, then
we're
people
firing
might
somebody.
Somebody might be fired by the end. They may not make the trip home. So yeah.
Jags at Colts. Now, I wanted to go with Colts. I wanted to go here, Colts here, but the Jaguars have a really good record against the Colts. They beat them all the time. I don't know what it is, but I'm going with that. I'm going with the Jags.
And I think
over.
If they have any kind of heart and fight left in them to make up for this Houston loss, give me the Jags. Although I don't trust Trevor Lawrence any farther than I can throw him.
Yeah. Vikings go to Miami and we still don't know if Tua's playing.
The
Is he
Vikings,
playing?
they look
Not
good.
playing?
Defensively, they look good. Offensively,
Yeah, I got Vikings as well. I had Miami, but I don't know who's playing the quarterback.
yeah.
Bengals travel to the Saints. I got the Bengals winning this one.
Yeah, as long as Taysom Hill does not go 4 touchdowns and run all over the place and throw for one. That was the Taysom Hill show in that deal.
Yeah.
I think we skipped that game when we reviewed Week 5 somehow because I don't remember talking about Taysom Hill.
I did. I said
Oh.
I said Saints win. Taysom Hill had himself a day with like 3 touchdowns. But.
Okay, it was 4, but okay. So yeah, give me Cincinnati. That offensive line. Yeah, give me Cincinnati.
Ravens Giants. We both already said we're taking the Ravens.
Yep.
Bucks and Steelers. I got the Bucks winning this one.
Yep. Yeah. That offense did not look very good, even with Kenny Pickett. So that is,
Rams Panthers. I got the Rams. Easy one for me.
Yep.
PJ Tucker's your quarterback over there. So Seattle and the Cardinals.
I like what Seattle is doing, but I don't think they can beat Arizona.
You don't think that you trust them? Yeah, that's me. It's a coin flip. I got the Cardinals as well. Bills Chiefs game of the week should be game of the week. The Cowboys game will probably be game of the week, but I got the Chiefs winning this one just because it's home field, just because they're at home.
Josh Allen revenge tour presses on. Give me the Buffalo.
That one I took a minute to look at and go, oh, let's see. Dallas at Philly, right? It's in Philly. Yep.
Yes.
I've got Dallas upsetting the Philadelphia Eagles and getting their first loss of the season.
I have Dallas as well. I think the defense gives. Now, my only concern is their one fatal flaw has been the running quarterback, and that seems to give them some trouble. But hopefully, everybody stays healthy, and they're only facing about 40 snaps a game, and they've got seven pass rushers out there that they keep rotating in and out so everybody stays fresh. So give me the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, you got last game is another Broncos Monday night. Broncos.
First of all, how in the world do the Broncos keep getting on prime time? This team is impossible to watch.
You got, well, that's the one we thought Russell Wilson was going to be good. I got the Chargers beating them though. I don't trust the Broncos.
Yeah, no, I can't. He's got a torn lat too, supposedly, but
yeah.
Anyhow, how would you like to be the backup? They'd rather trust Russell Wilson with a torn lat than they would put the backup in. What a slap to that kid's face.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty bad when your team is going overtime last week and your fans are walking out of the stadium.
Yeah.
There's the picks for week 6. We've got some. Well, we're going to do the headlines here. We're going to jump into the headlines. Will include the Major League Baseball playoffs. But before we get off football here, Carolina, Matt Rule gets fired from Carolina. I mean, I figure they might wait till the end of the year to do that. I don't know what they're going to do firing him right now. I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really going to go into tank mode, let him continue to tank it up.
They're bad.
They're 1-25. Matt Rule was 1-25 in games that he let up over 17 points. The offense never came to the deal. There was an interview that he did
with Baker Mayfield.
There was an interview that he did that said him and his coaching staff didn't understand offensive line schemes. And to me, that is something I would never admit as an NFL head coach, or I would find somebody and put them on my staff that did know what it was and get it fixed real quickly, because the Carolina Panthers are in shambles right now. And there's a very good possibility that Christian McCaffrey might be in Buffalo or somewhere else.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Did you just see what I got a text on earlier?
Astros beat the
Yeah.
mother.
Scott Service will be working at Home Depot tomorrow. My dad's like, he put Robbie Ray in, and the Astros walked it off. I was like,
I just saw it, and I was like, "Are you?"
I was waiting. I was waiting for headlines. I had it here earlier. He texted me as the show started, and I put the little emoji with the word across its mouth, and I was like, they just never.
Well, back to football here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, the Bills are calling about Christian McCaffrey,
and that's what I said. He may be a Buffalo Bill before this is all said.
That'd be fantastic.
If it's a true fire sale, this thing may be.
Green Bay. Call and get DJ Moore. You need a wide receiver. That guy's an absolute underrated son of a gun.
Yeah, and I mean, they may be fire sailing it up. They may have 4 first-round picks next year because they're going to have one from the team that, from this. Plus, they may get Buffalo's. Plus, they may get, who knows who else's. They may have 100 first-round picks. So, yeah, Matt Rule, short end of the stick. He will be going back to college, and he will never see the light of the NFL ever again. And he will take $40 million with him. He makes $875 a month for the next 4 years, and then we'll go get a college contract and double dip and just make all the money and look like a genius.
Well, there's a clause in his contract if he gets another job. Now, I don't know if it's an NFL job or college. I don't know if it's a college job. It doesn't matter. That says if he gets another job, then the Panthers will get some of that money back. But I don't know if that is only an NFL job or if that's.
Well, then I would sit at the house and just collect $40 million.
Well, he wants to coach. He'll go to a college and he'll be successful. He just didn't make it in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that goes
Nick
to
Saban Jr.
Not being able to find a quarterback, and maybe that's what got him. He said,
not sure who decided. Who decided on Baker over Jimmy
G, and Jimmy G's whooped their ass.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Ooh. All right, Ron Rivera. What a
Riverboat
Ron. They asked him after they lost the game. They said, "Hey, Ron, your other teams in your division have been successful. What do you think? What do you think's led them to their success? And why aren't you guys successful?" And he goes, "Our quarterback. You gotta and I run the bus right over him, back that son of a gun up, made sure he got him again. You cannot sit there and say that. This
especially
team,
with right now.
Wentz number 4, right?
Daniel Jones and Cooper Rush as the 2 quarterbacks in the NFC East that you're saying is the reason for the team's success. And the Cooper Rush show and the Daniel Jones show are better than what you have in Carson Wentz.
And Carson Wentz
is fan, but he's better than Cooper Rush and Daniel Jones.
Carson Wentz this season so far is the number 4 passer in the NFL.
Passer in the NFL.
Someone, who was it? Who's the guy that broke his leg in half and almost died and lost his leg because of it?
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith went off on Riverboat Ron about this because he's like, "Look, I like Washington and I like Ron Rivera, but he started talking about he's a defensive-minded coach, blaming the team's losses on one guy, and he goes over the stats. Yep, that's where I was going with that. But yeah, that the defense is bad, and he told them their rankings, and it's like you can't sit here and blame your quarterback when your team isn't doing their job all around. And Ron did walk it back today, but that is just terrible. We may all think it, right? We may all think that Carson Wentz is crap, but you can't say that as a head coach. This is a guy that you got to walk back in the locker room and somehow gets play for you. But yeah, I just think that's just a terrible look. And Riverboat Ron is either looking for a way out or something.
Yeah, 100%. That's a terrible look, and especially when your defense is one of the lowest rated in the NFL, and you have a number 4 rated passer. I'm not a Carson Wentz fan, but he's thrown some really pretty passes. Now the interception in the end zone on the goal line, inexcusable. I get it.
Inexcusable.
I 100%. I agree. But you can't.
He said something in the heat of the
throw your own
moment,
guy under the
and
bus. And he
Yeah.
walked it back today, but it's a little late. The toothpaste is out of the tube. Can't put it back there, Ron. You're just going to have to live with your quarterback hating your guts until one of you move on. So,
all right, let's jump into some postseason baseball. It's been interesting already. You've got the Blue Jays choking it to the Mariners. That the Blue Jays are more
Well,
talented.
out of
and
four
they choked that
home
up.
teams, only one of them won. The Mets lost, the Blue Jays lost, and the
Cardinals,
lost.
which was a shocker.
Yes.
I did the episode on Tuesday or on Friday.
Well, they were up.
And when I clicked on, I was like, oh, the Cardinals are up 3-0. They're gonna win. And when I got into the bracket, I switched it back over. I was like, they played today. I think the Cardinals won. And you see my face. I was like, are you kidding me? They lost. They got 6 runs in the 9th inning to lose. Whoo! What?
Seattle's up the whole day here and loses game 1 to
the Astros.
The Disastros, and then Philadelphia sneaks one by after jumping out to a big lead in Atlanta. Atlanta tries to come back, and Matt Olson hits a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th, but they fall short 7-6. The Yankees and Cleveland, the Guardians are playing right now.
I'm surprised the Guardians beat the Rays. I mean, the Guardians are number 3 and the Rays are number 6.
Yeah.
But the Rays are usually better than that, and I was kind of surprised that the Guardians were that high up this season.
And that was a 15-inning pitching duel, 0-0, and the young kid hits a walk-off homer, and Cleveland snakes it out of there. That's the only home team to win a series in the first round. And now the Dodgers and the Padres will play tonight. Talk about an implosion. The New York Mets are in first place the whole season except for 12 games. The Braves come in the last 12 days of the season and snatch out the division from them, which forces them into the wild card round, and they get swept by San Diego right out the door. Buck Showalter, in a move of desperation, calls timeout, sends the umpires out in the middle of the game to check
pathetic
the pitcher. They're out here wiping his ears down and checking his nose and checking his hands and checking everything you could possibly check on this guy. He finishes the inning and then looks at the dugout and tells Buck Showalter where to take it and stick it. And the Mets do what the Mets do. Every year they have a good season and they somehow choke it away in the Bill Buckner, Mets are the,
It was funny seeing all the memes and TikToks of Mets fans crying and
it's ridiculous. It's just an absolute travesty. They win over 100 games and they're out in 2 shakes of the lamb's tail, and
they didn't win when it mattered. They didn't win, and if they beat Atlanta, they would have been, they wouldn't have had to play that wild card.
Absolutely.
San Diego looks interesting against the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the best team in baseball, record wise, 111 wins.
San Diego, the Dodgers
crazy.
had San Diego's number all year. I don't think that's going to be much of a series. I hope it is.
Yeah, I hope
as an anti-Dodger fan, I mean, I don't really. I hope both of them lose if that was a possibility. If we could just wipe both of those teams out, I would really like to see Atlanta myself. But they're now.
I would like to see Atlanta go back and win it again.
The Phillies talk about a team. They fired their manager 50 games into the season and go on a 20-game winning streak and then make the playoffs, and now they're in the division series and win game 1. That team looks like a team that could be around for a little while. So Bryce Harper doing what Bryce Harper does. Castellanos is 3 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBIs, and the Phillies are off and running. I think overall the Braves are a better team, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think they are too, but anything can happen in playoff baseball.
Yeah.
The Padres, if they take this to game 7, okay, and they lose by 1 or 2 runs in the game 7, let's just say. And this is where you're looking at going, man, wouldn't it be nice to have Tatis?
Yeah, this
Wouldn't
whole
it be
series would have
nice?
been nice to have Tatis.
So that's something to keep in the back of the head. This guy took his PEDs and gonna miss out. But I haven't really heard much of Juan Soto this season after he went to San Diego.
Juan Soto has been minimal at best.
It's crazy to think they gave all that up and you really haven't heard from him. Yeah, that's your postseason baseball. We'll continue to do that. We got NHL hockey starting up soon.
Hockey starts tonight officially.
Yeah, officially starts tonight. Stars, me and you are Stars fans. They got your guy signed, Robinson, so that's good for us.
Thank God.
And the score there, you got the basketball starts in the end of this month on the 28th, I believe.
18th or 19th, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was. I knew it had 8 in there somewhere, but so we're interested in seeing that and seeing Luka play. We need to get some free tickets to those games from work.
They got the raffle at work up there.
Yeah, but I ain't paying no money for that. Abel's always told me, you want some Ranger tickets sometime? Let me know. I'm like, yeah, I do.
From experience, the company Dallas Stars tickets are top notch. Let me throw that in there.
Nice. Well, I think that's going to be all the news we got for you this week. It's been a good episode. Craig, you were on vacation last week. You won't be here Friday. Go ahead and give us what's in your locker and fill us in what you did last week.
Last week was really not much of anything. I just kind of sat around the house and relaxed.
A staycation.
Yeah, and we went hunting. The opening weekend wasn't as successful as I would have hoped. The deer happened to be there when I wasn't.
Yeah, you saw them.
And yes, they're still on the camera and they're waving still.
They're giving you the bird.
Yeah, I'm gonna just let them grow up a little bit, and we'll take care of that here in a weekend or two. This weekend you've got a big college football game, Michigan Penn State. It'll be the real first test that Michigan has to see if they're can repeat what they did last year. And then we have Monster Jam Saturday night at the Jerry World. We're going to go watch monster trucks roll around and crush stuff on Saturday night. And that should be fun. We go twice a year to that deal and get pit passes, walk around, take a bunch of pictures, touch monster trucks. And they bring in who knows how many mounds and mounds of dirt to
I'm surprised they're having that during the season because of that.
Yeah, they get it in there and get it out of there inside of a weekend. It's amazing. And to watch a huge monster truck do flips and like it's a Tonka truck is pretty amazing. So that's about it. And then Sunday night we will be parked in front of the TV to try to watch the Cowboys hopefully beat the Eagles and take over first place alone in the NFC East, as long as the Ravens can beat the Giants earlier in the day.
Heads up, I just crossed my mind. Next week you will be solo on Tuesday. So
okay.
I will be in Houston for work. So oh yeah. So I'll be gone Monday through Wednesday at they're doing a new driver safety training, and they asked me to go down there and take the class or learn the information and bring it back. So I'll be gone Monday through Wednesday next week. So be a fun little getaway. But so next Tuesday, Craig will be a solo. I'll probably be solo again. I don't know when Jeff's going to be back on Friday. Well, you'll have your Friday edition here as well.
And the Centennial Spartans are 6-0 as they beat Denton Ryan Friday night. And now we play Aledo this Friday, which should be for the district title.
Oh, nice. Aledo's pretty good. So, but Denton Ryan's good too, usually. So
Aledo has 2 losses, but they were both non-district games. Both teams are undefeated in district, and this should be for the district championship.
Nice. Yeah, is that at home or at Aledo?
It is at home.
Well, that's good because Aledo's pretty far.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to be the show this week. This Tuesday edition here for you, episode 160. Host Brian and Craig, and we hope you have a fantastic week. It's almost Wednesday, and we'll get to that weekend. We got some good college football coming up. I'll be back on Friday to give you the top 5 games of the week of NFL. I'll give you the college schedule and anything else that happens in between here and there. But God bless, guys, and remember,
keep it outspoken.